Zettel für die lange Weg. 2 Flaschen Whisky für die Zeit. Und ich date gern habe, du bist dabei. Maria geht, fahrt mal weg, ist weit. Wann ich geh, ich werd dir fehlen, wann ich geh. Du sehst nicht, was ich mach, du sehst nicht, wie ich lach. Ich werd dir fehlen, du watsch seh. Hab kriegt mein Zettel für den langen Weg. Du schönste, als mir finden kann. Es hat Maria und Dale ganz wunderbar. Hass ich dir den weißen Dank. Wann ich geh, ich werd dir fehlen, wann ich geh. Du sehst nicht, was ich mach, du sehst nicht, wie ich lach. Ich werd dir fehlen, du watsch seh. Well, lieber Lied, welcome back to another episode of PA Dutch Live. It is our Christmas Grischtdaag spectacular. I got me Santa Claus hood on, and I am ready to bring you one heck of a show this evening. I got some really great surprises all planned for you guys. We got some extra music this month, more than just one song. We usually only have one song, but this month we're bringing way more than just one, and we're going to put you in the Christmas spirit. So if you aren't in the Christmas spirit yet, or holiday spirit, hopefully by the end of tonight's broadcast, you will be. And on top of it, dear friends, you have the opportunity, if you so choose, to join the show yourself. Now, remember, if you're going to join, it's not just to join and have a cup of coffee with me. If you're going to join, I'd love to have you tell a story about something Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas related, because that is what the whole episode's about tonight. But you know the deal if you've been watching the show before, whether you're watching here on Facebook or on the YouTube channel. In the comment section, let me know where you are joining us from every month. I am so excited to see where people are from all over the world are joining us from, and I'm sure tonight will be just the same. Let me throw some hellos out there already. We got Edgar Germania Hera saying, hey. Well, hey, back to you. We got Gary Weaver up there in Egypt, Pennsylvania. He's joined us before. Welcome, Gary. Good to see you again. Kathy Crawl is joining us from Elizabethtown, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Good it, Kathy, to you too. Our dear friend Brigitte Weinsteiger, hello from Philadelphia. I think we might be hearing more from you later tonight, Brigitte. Surprise. Actually, you know that. I'm just letting the rest of the audience know. We have our good friend David Schellenberger joining us from Boyertown. He's waving a hand. Well, waving it right back at you, David. Our good friend Norman Jung stayed up again after midnight over there in the old country saying, Gute Morgen, Ali Epper. It is Monday. It is morning already for him, past midnight in the county of Kusel in the Palatinate, Germany. Oh, my dear friend, it is so good to see you. Well, virtually again. Thanks for staying up and joining us. We got Burkhard Schmorl joining us from way down south, down there in Alabama. Well, welcome to the show, Burkhard. Griff Red, that's a student of mine. He's saying, hey, Maidenford. Well, hey, Griff. Griff, if you didn't get the news, we have a snow day tomorrow, so you don't have to get up as early. How about that? I'll talk more about that snowstorm that's coming here for all of us up here in Pennsylvania and in the Northeast. Well, it's going to be a bad one, it looks like. Mo, our good friend Mo, is joining us from Midlothian, Virginia. Mo, welcome back to the show. It's always good to have you joining us as well. If this is your first time joining us here on PA Dutch Live, welcome, as we say in Pennsylvania Dutch. Welcome. And please throw something in the comment section as we go through tonight's show. If there's something that you have a comment you want to add, but you don't feel comfortable getting on the actual live stream, I get it. Then just throw your comment in the section and we'll give you a shout out that way. Ben Hackman is joining us. He's saying, was ist heute überschwätze ich gleich Ihr Show? Wayne, Ohio, joining us from the great state right to the west of us there out there in Ohio. Why, Ben, tonight we're talking about Grischtdaag and Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas traditions, and we're going to have some other fun too, I think. Our good friend Rachel, with that wonderful son that plays banjo like a professional whistler, is saying, hi, Doug. Well, hi, Rachel, back at you. My goodness, let's bring into the stream what we always do at the beginning of every show and kind of get everybody up to date. Well, it is December 14th. Can you believe it? Christmas is just, my goodness, what is it? 10 days away till Christmas Eve. Oh my God, I hope you have your shopping done. I don't have it all done, but darn near. We're working on it. Stefan Eberly says, yeah. Well, yeah is a good word to throw out there. Then Wolf Pith is saying, hello, Herr Maidenford. I have no idea who Wolf Pith is. Maybe I should. I don't know. It's probably one of my students. Well, welcome, Wolf Pith. Actually, I think I know. Is that Blaze? Is that you? Let me know. But we do have this show. If you would like to join the stream, I posted in the comment sections, both on Facebook and on YouTube, a link. And you simply should be able to click the link. Sometimes your computer or phone or tablet will automatically work. Sometimes you have some technical difficulties. It's kind of like Zoom, where you have to give it permission to access your camera and your microphone. So if you're having some trouble, maybe just try then click it again and see if it works out. The Tulpehocken Territory 300th anniversary is saying hello from beautifully decorated downtown Burnville. Are the lights a blinking there in Burnville tonight? I bet they are. Welcome and thanks for joining us. Another one of my students, I must be giving out extra points tonight, boy. Aaron is joining us saying hello. Hello, Aaron. Thanks for joining the live stream. Hey, you too get to sleep in tomorrow because we got a virtual snow day. How about that? Let's go through some upcoming events in the greater Pennsylvania Dutch country. Mark your calendars. We got quite a lot of cool things coming up. This weekend on Sunday, the 18th of December, will be a Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas at the Long Swamp UCC. So the United Church of Christ there in Long Swamp. This is actually being put on by the Long Swamp Township Historical Society in union with the Long Swamp United Church of Christ. They will be having a family fun, Pennsylvania Dutch stories and memories, German carols, and a visit from the Belsnickel. We'll be talking about the Belsnickel tonight in their sanctuary with a reception to follow in Schubert Haas. You're invited for refreshments and to view local holiday historical displays. All are welcome. So mark your calendar if you want to head over to the Long Swamp region of Berks County. It's a beautiful part of our county. And check out their Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas event. Also, on Sunday as well, for those of you in the greater Berks County area, but also I bet you'll be able to do this if you have an internet connection anyway. Every year, there is a tradition of having a German language church service. Now, I know, Doug, this is a Pennsylvania Dutch show, but you always have to throw back and say, well, our ancestors worshipped in standard German for a very long time. And they will be having their German Christmas church service, Weihnachtsgottesdienst, and that will be on Sunday at 11 a.m. If you want to go live, it'll be at the Renewed Spirit Church, and that is on Walnut Street there in Reading, Pennsylvania. But it will also be live broadcast on WEEU, the local radio station there in Reading. And WEEU has a website and, of course, a Facebook page. I wouldn't be surprised if they're also live streaming it through their social media sources. So you might want to check that out if you're interested in joining and celebrating a German language Christmas church service on this Sunday, the 18th. I've been mentioning this in the last couple of months, but I want to keep mentioning it in case anyone missed it or is still interested. Our good friends at the Berks History Center, especially Brad Smith, who is a very dear friend of mine and of the show and of the channel, who will be teaching a virtual PA Dutch class. That's right. It doesn't matter where you live because it's virtual. And this class will be running from January 9th through February 27th. $50 for a Berks History Center member, $120 for a non-member. And as you can see, there's some information there below. I don't remember exactly how well the length of I think they'll be meeting, I think, one night a week. It'll be via either Zoom or some kind of platform like that. So if you're living like, who was that from Alabama joining us tonight? Burkhart, if he wants to learn some Pennsylvania Dutch, now he doesn't have to live in Pennsylvania Dutch country and still take advantage of that. So check out their website and their social media. They're very active on Facebook. Check out the Berks History Center for more information if you're interested in signing up for our virtual PA Dutch classes. And I have to give a shout out back to our dear friend Carol, who joins us every month. She was that Tulpehocken Territory. Carol, you're gonna have to tell me more about what is the Tulpehocken Territory 300th anniversary. Maybe that could be a topic for one of our future shows. That sounds like fun. If you would like to take in-person Pennsylvania Dutch classes and you live in the greater Lebanon County area, here is an information for you. The Historic Schaefferstown organization will be hosting 2 opportunities on Tuesdays and Saturdays with my good friend Alice Spade as the instructor. Alice is top notch. If you want to learn Pennsylvania Dutch, she's a good person to learn Pennsylvania Dutch from. Here's just some of the information. The Tuesday ones will run in the afternoons from 1 to 3 p.m. From January 31st through April 4th. If you want to sign up for the Saturday classes, they run from 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning, January 28th through April 8th. The costs are there. If you are a historic Schaefferstown member, $45, $50 for non-members. And the registration deadline is the 20th of January. So you have some time. So that would be an opportunity for someone that would prefer to have, the hands-on face-to-face type of instruction. If you live in that area and you'd like to sign up, there's some information for you. But if you don't live in the area, we have the opportunity at the Berks History Center, like I said earlier. Our good friend Ashley is joining us from Western Berks County as well. Gouda Owit, Ashley. Good to see you and glad you are joining us this evening. Another thing for your calendars, dear friends, every year for the last couple of years now, minus the COVID time, there has been an organization, the Pennsylvania German Sommerlauf. They do two big events. And their first event for 2023 is coming up, and they do a Grundschaulodge für Junge, or a Groundhog Lodge for kids. It's an opportunity for, families to bring kids to have some face-to-face interactions where they're learning about Pennsylvania Dutch culture and history and language. That will be taking place, and this is at the end of January 29th from 1:30 to 3 p.m., and that will be at the Midway Diner there in Bethel, right off of I-78. It's a really great event. I have friends that attended with their young children last year, and they really enjoyed it. So, mark your calendars if you have kids or grandkids and you want to give them the opportunity to learn more about Groundhog Day and Pennsylvania Dutch traditions. Check this event out. In fact, Poppy the Groundhog from Acorn Acres in Millersville will be joining the event, and you'll be able to get your pictures taken with Poppy. Doesn't that sound like fun? So mark your calendars for that. Every now and then I like to share funny things I see online. There is a Facebook page called the Reading Berks Hot Dog Society, and sometimes they post things that aren't necessarily appropriate, but every now and then they'll post things that are appropriate. And they posted this image the other day. I don't think this is an actual t-shirt for sale. This is just something they had to get conversation going. Mommy's little schnickel fritz. Anytime I see people using Pennsylvania Dutch, I have to stand and applaud and shout out to the Reading Berks Hot Dog Society. It's a spoof page, like a humor page on Facebook if you're on Facebook. But fair warning, if you decide to follow them, they do post some inappropriate stuff from time to time. Just there's your fair warning, there's your trigger warning. But I just thought this was really funny, and I thought I'd give them a shout out. I just thought that was a really great thing. All right, I think it's time to have our monthly salute. I did this last month. We're going to do this every month. If you watch the old TV show Hee Haw back in the day, every episode, they would do a salute to some town somewhere in the United States. Well, this month, I'm going to give a salute to Kunkeltown, which is up in Monroe County, Pennsylvania. This is what I found online. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but it was founded in the year 1846. And as of the newest population numbers that I could find, put it at 9,464 people. So to the good people up there in Kunkeltown, Monroe County, Pennsylvania, from all of us here at PA Dutch Live, I'd like to give you a nice loud salute. If you'd like your hometown or the town that you're living in to be given a salute in the future, just shoot me an email or message me on social media. I already have some people that have sent some other towns. In fact, I got January's already claimed, but February's open. So if you have a hometown or a town where you live that you'd like to give me a salute from, I will gladly do that. I don't know if I've ever been to Kunkeltown, to be honest. Maybe I have. Have I? Maybe. Well, I said we're going to have multiple music opportunities tonight, and here is our first one. A friend of mine on Facebook who's from Germany, a man by the name of Günter Mannweiler, who's a musician in Germany, sent me a link and said, hey, would you be willing to share my song with your audience? And I said, well, why not? So what's really great about this is he took the song Santa Claus is Coming to Town, but translated it into what is the equivalent of the Pennsylvania Dutch that's spoken over in the Palatinate region of Germany. So this is the Belsnickel kommt heute, or the Belsnickel comes today. And just you're gonna have to give me a second to get the video up, but this is the screenshot. So give me just 1 second here. And I really appreciate him sending me this. We need to share our screen, dear people. We're going to do this and we're going to share. Just follow along, enjoy. Der Belsnickel kommt heute.
Sei heim, lieber brav und motz nicht rum. Sei ihr lieb Kind, weißt du aber warum? Der Belsnickel kommt heim ins Haus. Mach nicht so viel mit dem Handy rum, wann die Mama dich ruft, dann her, dabei komm. Der Belsnickel kommt heim ins Haus. Dann holt erst sein Buch aus, sein Sack und guckt rein. Und denkt, soll ich jetzt chillen oder der gute Belsnickel sein? Warst du ein Liebkind und hast immer gehört, dann ist alles gut und dann wärst du beschert. Der Belsnickel kommt heim ins Haus. Dann holt erst sein Buch aus, sein Sack und guckt rein. Und denkt, soll ich jetzt chillen oder ein guter Belsnickel sein? Und sei ein Liebkind, treib Geschabernack, sonst holt er ruckzuck noch die Rut aus dem Sack. Ja, sei ein liebes Kind, zahlt sich aus. Und irgendwas Schönes, hör auf. Der Belsnickel kommt heim ins Haus. Dubi, 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 Lied aus.
Well, Liebelei, what did you think of that? That was thanks to der Herr Mannweiler for sending us that song. I thought that was kind of funny. Get to hear a little bit of the Palatinate version of our dialect, closer to maybe what we would have spoken maybe when we first came over. Who knows, but this is the language closest to what they speak in the Palatinate today, and I really enjoyed him doing that. So thanks so much, Herr Mannweiler, for sending us that. Yeah, Erica says, I love the doovies. I did too. Doovie, doovie, doovie. Yeah, that was good. All right, let's talk a couple things real quick, and then I do have a friend that we're going to bring into the stream to help us explain one of the upcoming topics here. But I was thinking about what are some pretty typical things for a Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas? And there's lots of things, and this list is not complete. There are lots of other things that I'm probably not even thinking about or forgot. But one thing that growing up for me anyways, and please put in the comment section if this was your childhood too, or maybe you even still do it today, was one thing that my grandmother would always have on her kitchen table was an Advent wreath, or as what we call in Pennsylvania Dutch, an Adventskrans. And for those of you that aren't Christian or don't celebrate Advent is the time in the Christian church calendar. It's the time leading up to the birth of Christ. It's usually 4 weeks long in Advent. And the way that it's marked is on the 4 Sundays of Advent, a candle is lit on the Advent wreath. So the first Sunday one candle would be lit, and the second second Sunday in Advent, 2 candles, etc., until you get to the 4th Sunday when you have all 4 Advent candles lit. This is something that I grew up with, and I still carry this tradition. This is actually a picture from my kitchen table right now, with our Advent calendar. I took this picture on the 1st Sunday in Advent. This coming up week is the 4th Sunday in Advent, and then of course the next Sunday's Christmas. Oh my gosh! So that's just one thing that I know a lot of Protestant Pennsylvania Dutch, a tradition that they carried on here, here in Pennsylvania, and probably other places that they moved to as well. I know that here we got Kathy Crawl saying, "Yeah, we had one." Well, that's good, and we got the thumbs up from Noble Clinton. So I would imagine that means that they probably had an Advent wreath as well. And they're easy to make if you want to have your own. You can buy them on Amazon too, to be honest. So, if that's maybe a tradition you want to start next year, go ahead. Of course, our Christmas gift giver, no conversation about Pennsylvania Dutch Christmases would be complete without a mention of the Belsnickel. We just heard a song from our friend over in Germany about the Belsnickel coming. Here is a photo version of one of a Belsnickel. This is a friend of the show and channel, Patrick Dunmoyer, the director at the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center, Kutztown. This is his version of the Belsnickel, and he's dressed up. And of course, this is where I really would love to hear from people. Put in the comment section, did the Belsnickel come and visit you when you were a child? Because the tradition was in Pennsylvania Dutch country, for those of you that aren't familiar with it or maybe didn't grow up with it, is that, years ago, the towns and local areas would have somebody actually dress up the part of the Belsnickel and come door to door and visit families and visit these kids before Christmas. And, he's a little scary. He's a little grumpy sometimes, a little mean. He has his sticks in his one hand and his sack of small gifts in the other. And the tradition was he would come to the house. Well, of course, it was usually somebody local, so they would know the kids, and which I think would make it even more theatrical in the sense that here, if you're a little kid, this guy's coming in your house. He's a little scary. He looks weird, and then he knows your name and he knows who you are and he knows your parents, and maybe even your parents tipped him off and said, "Hey, remind Susie that she pushed Jakey into the creek this summer," and then he could bring that story up right there in the kitchen or in the living room, and boy, that would really get your attention as a little kid, right? And it would depend. It varied from region to region throughout Pennsylvania Dutch country. Sometimes kids would recite a poem or a Bible verse or sing a song for the Belsnickel. And then, if you've been good, he'd give you a small gift. Sometimes it was, if we look back throughout history, sometimes it was walnuts or maybe an orange or some small chocolates. You weren't getting a PlayStation 5 from the Belsnickel or a new iPhone, although maybe the Belsnickel today brings those things, but he didn't bring those things when in my tradition growing up. He brought us a box of chocolates and an orange, which we were happy for. But if you have stories of that, let us know. Luann is saying hello from Manchester, Maryland. Hello, Luann. And Edgar's saying, well, yeah, that's scary. Yeah, he is a little scary. And, if you were bad, he would tap you up the backside with the switches, which, get a little bit of a spanking, but no kid's perfect, right? Ashley Dawn says, he didn't visit me when I was a kid, but he's visiting my classroom again this year. I keep telling my students that Belsnickel's watching. You are right. Ashley's a high school German teacher at Conrad Weiser School District in Berks County. And one thing that I love about Ashley is she has this little Belsnickel doll. And you know how we have this elf on the shelf tradition here in the United States now, where families have these red elves that hide throughout the house. Well, Ashley has her Belsnickel on an elf on a shelf, so to speak. And every day she hides the Belsnickel somewhere else, and her students have to find it. And I think it's great. It's really a great idea. Gets the kids interested. It's teaching them about this Pennsylvania Dutch tradition, and I'm sure they have some laughs with it. She always posts a picture on social media every day where the Belsnickel is hiding. I just love it. I absolutely love it. And just keep that tradition going, Ashley. That is good stuff. Amish Pope says we need more Belsnickel. You darn right we do. I agree. I don't have anything against Santa Claus. He's a good dude. He always took care of me and my brother and would drop us gifts on Christmas Eve. But I have to agree with Amish Pope here. I think it would be good for the kids today and adults. I think the Belsnickels have visited some adults today in this country too, and have a little conversation with them too. Just some food for thought. Alvin Nepper says we used to put our shoes out in front of our door, and he would come overnight and leave oranges. There you go. I know that in Germany, the tradition of Saint Nicholas, who visits on the night of December 5th into December 6th, that is a tradition through a lot of parts of Germany where kids would leave their shoes outside their bedroom door, and then Saint Nicholas would come and drop off small gifts in their shoes, candy, chocolate, maybe an orange, something like that. So this tradition is, this isn't a tradition that we invented here in America. It was a tradition that we brought with from the old world. It kind of went in its own direction by us here in the United States, by the Pennsylvania Dutch. Victoria says, I didn't have Belsnickel come when I was a kid, but we're going to try to get a friend to do when we have kids, Victoria. I hope you can make it work out. That would be awesome. I don't know where you live, Victoria, but I'm sure if you're in the greater Berks County area, we can find somebody that'll come play Belsnickel for your kids. Our dear friend Rachel says, my dad remembers him knocking on the window at his aunt's house when he was visiting. And he said it almost scared the poop out of him. He later found out as an adult that it was his aunt that was knocking on the door, on the window. That's great. The next time I see your dad, Rachel, I'm gonna have to ask him about that. And if he ever had to change his pants when the Belsnickel came to visit. Noble Clinton says Poland has this tradition too. I know other parts of Europe do as well, right? Austria does it, Switzerland. Kurt says, my son learned of the Belsnickel at work last year. One of the supervisors sent an email out to everyone about the history of the Belsnickel. Well, that's great. I don't know who his supervisor was. Sounds like he's a Pennsylvania Dutch person. But I love that. I absolutely love that. Amish Pope is saying we received an orange and hard candy. Loved it. It's the simple gifts, isn't it? It truly is the simple gifts sometimes. Victoria says, oh, she lives down by Phoenixville. I know a guy. Wink. You got it. Well, that's great, Victoria. When the time comes and he visits, please send us some photos or something because I just love it. I absolutely love it. All right. So a little bit about the Belsnickel, dear friends. Boy, as many of you know who follow the channel, not too long ago, our monthly Ask a Pennsylvania Dutchman episode was all about the tradition of Christmas, about the Christmas Putz. And boy, did it generate conversation online on Facebook and on the YouTube channel with comments from everywhere. And my goodness, boy, I didn't realize just how defensive people were above their Christmas puts, which is great. And there were a lot of people asking questions like, where's this come from? What's this tradition from? And, how did we get it? And then luckily there were people commenting that know the truth. And I just have one of them here on the line. He looks like he's in the dark, but we're going to bring him in here. I'm going to remove this image real quick and bring in our dear friend, Terry Berger. Terry, how are you? You got your Santa Claus beard on there, my friend.
Hey, Gott sei gelobt.
Gott sei gelobt zu dir all. Well, Terry, are you hiding outside waiting to go scare some kids or something? You're all in the dark, my friend.
Well, I'm out to dinner with some friends, and I just took some time out to meet with you and
Are they still sitting in the restaurant?
They're in the restaurant. I'm out in the truck. So
well, then I don't want to take up too much of your time. But the reason I have you here is because tell the audience about what is this Christmas Putz and the connection to the Moravian faith.
Well, the Christmas Putz is somebody different.
Yeah, that's right. As soon as I said it, I was like, that's the wrong word, Doug. Come on.
Well, now as I understand it, I mean, I grew up Moravian, and the Moravian Church is a Christian denomination, a very old denomination. But the Moravians were an educational people. We did a lot of things to teach, and so the Putz was done in our communities. And we were a communal people, so the Putz was done in the communities, like a sort of a diorama that included the journey into Bethlehem, where Jesus was born. Usually it included scenes from the town or the village, the community, but it was really done as a teaching tool to teach children about the nativity and that's the origin of it, at least in the Moravian tradition. To be honest with you, I mean, I only knew the word from the Moravian tradition, and then when I was older, I learned that it had another meaning in another Germanic group. So yeah. And of people that are familiar with the word Putz, which is found in Yiddish as well, is not the same as a Christmas Putz. Right. But you can be a Christmas Putz and have a Putz, but
that's right. Yes, you can, people. Don't let being a Putz stop you from putting on a Putz. There we go. There's our quote for the night.
Right. So,
Terry,
but
do you have one set up at your house?
I do not. The way the house is set up, the Christmas tree, I don't have the room to put something like that up. Although on the one of the radiator covers, we do have a small village scene set up. So, maybe that could be considered a Putz.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, Terry,
Um,
I really appreciate you taking time out of your dinner with friends to go hide in your truck to talk to us tonight.
well, this, I always look forward to talking with you and folks about this. It's interesting for me because over the last couple of years, I've had people tell me outright that the Moravians are not part of the Pennsylvania Dutch culture, and yet I look at that and go, well, then who am I?
Yeah, right.
I as Moravian as the day is long, and Pennsylvania Dutch as the day is long. So,
Yeah.
Go figure.
Well, I'll tell you what, Terry, I'd love to have you back on the show some other time in the future where we could talk a little bit about the Moravian faith, because there's a lot of people out there that, have heard of it, I'm sure. And like there's Moravian College, and we have towns like Lidditz and these other Moravian settlements in Pennsylvania. And yeah, those people were Pennsylvania Dutch. You grew up speaking and hearing the language, so it'd be an interesting topic for a future episode, my friend.
I would enjoy that very much. I would enjoy that very much. And thank you for your time too, Doug. This has been a pleasure.
Oh, thanks for coming. No, thanks for coming on. Hey, well, thank you for coming on. Go enjoy supper, whatever's left of it. Hopefully you still get dessert. And if I probably won't see you before Christmas, so Heilige Grischtdaag, my friend.
Yeah, frohe Grischtdaag off.
Okay, Max gut, Terry. Our good friend Terry Berger. He is a character. I'll tell you what, if you ever get to any of the events like Christmas on the Farm, Easter on the Farm, Haymet Fest at the Cultural Heritage Center in Kutztown, or if you go to the Kutztown Folk Festival, Terry's always there cooking. And if you've never had his cooking, chef's kiss, my friends. It is traditional Pennsylvania Dutch stuff, and it is good. Zimdog says, I've moved from Lebanon County to Nye Jersey. Why did you do that, my friend? My friends here think my PA Dutch Christmas traditions are crazy. Hey, you tell them, Zimdog, that maybe they're the crazy ones, and don't you give in to peer pressure. You keep those Pennsylvania Dutch traditions going, my friend. Don't you stop. Our good friend Rachel Yoder saying, hello, Doug. Rachel, thanks for joining us from lovely Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Edgar says, by the way, the Christmas tree came from German tradition and German immigrants. He is right. We think about these things. There's a lot of traditions that the Pennsylvania Dutch started, Christmas traditions, Easter traditions that a lot of Americans think are these American things, and it's always been American, but honestly, the Pennsylvania Dutch have brought a lot of these traditions to the New World when we came, and they've developed and grown from that time period on, but they got their roots among us, the Pennsylvania Dutch. So there's the Putz. I kept saying Putz. I gotta stop saying that. That's not right, Douglas. Come on now. All right, so we talked about the Belsnickel, we talked about the Advent Wreaths, and we talked about the Putz. What's next? Well, dear friends, it's time for another song. And I'm going to do it live. This one's not pre-recorded. You guys know I love music, and I love to perform, and I like to write music and sing. And one of my things that I've been working on a lot here in the last 2 years, really during the pandemic as well, is taking songs and making them Pennsylvania Dutch. Sometimes that means a direct translation from English into Pennsylvania Dutch. Sometimes that means taking a melody of a song that's well known, but doing it with Pennsylvania Dutch words, maybe totally different from what the original song or original lyrics was about. And I'm thinking to myself, I need a new Christmas song for tonight's show. And I was thinking, let's go really crazy. What Christmas song would people never associate with for Pennsylvania Dutch? And I said, well, Mele Kalikimaka. And you might be looking at me like, Doug, what is Mele Kalikimaka? And then I'd say, what rock are you living under that you've never heard the song Mele Kalikimaka? But I'm sure there are people out there that have never heard the song Mele Kalikimaka. But anyway, for those of you who haven't, it's a song. Mele Kalikimaka is, I guess, how you say Merry Christmas in Hawaiian. And the original song, I think, was recorded by Bing Crosby back in the day. And, you know it. Mele Kalikimaka is a thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day. And I thought, well, we're not Hawaiian, and the things they're singing about don't fit for a Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas. So I played around with the words a little bit, and I came up with this version of, it's my version of Mele Kalikimaka, but we're not going to sing Mele Kalikimaka because that's Hawaiian. We're going to sing Halisha Grischtdaag, which is the Pennsylvania Dutch for Merry Christmas. So bear with me. It's a Hawaiian song, so I got my ukulele banjo, my banjo lele out. Hopefully the microphone will pick this up. You know the melody if you know the song, so you can sing along with me, right? Halisha Grischtdaag is the thing to say on a PA Dutchy Christmas day. That's the Deutsche greeting that we send to you from the land where hex signs play. Here we know the Belsnickel will visit you. He'll hit you once, then give a gift. That's how we do. Halisha Grischtdaag is the PA Dutch way to say Merry Christmas to you. Now I think everyone should be able to join me. Are we ready? Here we go. Halisha Grischtdaag is a thing to say on a PA Dutchy Christmas day. That's the Deutsche greeting that we send to you from the land where hex signs play. Here we know the Belsnickel will visit you. He'll hit you once and give a gift. That's how we do. Halisha Grischtdaag is a PA Dutch way to say Merry Christmas to you. Well, how's that? That's a little non-traditional, huh? Or untraditional, whatever the word is. I have to be honest with you. That one was actually harder to write than it sounds like, because trying to get syllables right is always is tough. You got this melody that's, everyone knows the melody, so you got to match your words up just right. And then trying to figure out how am I going to work Halisha Grischtdaag into a song, and just the challenge of keeping that Hawaiian feel, but it's not green and bright at Christmas usually here in Pennsylvania. It's white or gray and cold and damp. So I went with this. I hope you enjoyed it. You are actually, besides my wife and my kids, you are the first people to hear that. So a live rendition of the Pennsylvania Dutch version of Mele Kalikimaka. Tell your friends. I got some more comments here from people. Laura's back on the Belsnickel. She says, the Belsnickel came to my grandparents' house when I was small and rattled his switches on the window when my brother and I were fighting. Scared the bejeebers out of us, and we shaped up in a hurry. Oh, Laura, that's great. So we got Rachel's dad got the poop scared out of him, and you had the bejeebers scared out of you. That's great. Boy, the Belsnickel, he's pretty powerful. Rachel Yoder says yes to the song. Thanks, Rachel. Ashley says yes, love it. Ashley, sing it with your kids tomorrow. I'll send you the lyrics if you want. They can sing that in class. Come on. Edgar says that's great. Seth Moak, hey Seth, thanks for joining us. Oh yeah, fun stuff. How are things out there in sunny San Diego, California? But not as cold as it is here. That's for darn sure. Erica says, clap, clap. Coming from you, Erica, I take that as a high compliment. Thank you very much. And Burkhardt says, toll, which is German for great. Thanks. Ashley says, yes, we'll sing it. They would love it. See, we're spreading that PA Dutch love. They're going to be finding the Belsnickel tomorrow and then singing this song in your class. I expect either a video or photos, Ashley, to prove that this happened. Well, every month I always bring something in the language, and the last couple months I've been giving you phrases or vocabulary. In past episodes I've done a poem, and I thought, darn it, it is Christmas, and we have this famous story of the night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and there's a great book out there that you can purchase called The Night Before Christmas, but it's in Pennsylvania Dutch and in English. This is the cover of it, Die Nacht voor de Grischtdaag. And I thought, you know what? It's going to be sit down by the fire time and story time with Uncle Dougie tonight. So I would like to take the time tonight for you to hear some good Pennsylvania Dutch. And I want to read this story to you all in Pennsylvania. It should only take a couple minutes. But if you don't understand Pennsylvania Dutch, just listen to how sing-songy our language is. Maybe you'll hear a word or there that and you'll be able to connect. Most of you know the story. 'Twas the night before Christmas and all through the house, with Santa Claus coming. This version, Die Nacht vor der Grischtdaag, was translated by Thomas Zimmerman German and Solomon DeLong, and it was edited by our good friend Walter Sauer over in Germany. And his company, Edition Tintenfass, are the ones that publishes this. But you can buy this at a couple different places. I know you can get it on Amazon. You can also get it on, I think Masthof Press carries it, I think. But if you Google search this, you'll be able to find it, and you can get your own copy. And what's great is it has the English and then the Pennsylvania Dutch, and it has these old Victorian era illustrations that accompany the story. It's really pretty. So without further ado, sit back, let me take a Schwig of Wasser, and enjoy this rendition of Die Nacht vor der Grischtdaag, or The Night Before Christmas. Es war die Nacht vor der Grischtdaag, wie Darichs ganz Haus. Verregt sich Kate Dierli net einmal en Maß. Die Strimp war schnuck in Schanner steh kanke, in der Hoffnung der Nick, det grad runner Chumpe. Die Kinder so schnuck war allsche in Bett, vom Zuckergeschleck Drama, und was mehr doch wett. Die Mami im Schnuppduch und ich in der Kapp, hen uns just hingelegt für ein langer Winters Nap. Dann draus im Hof war so dunner sei Yacht, dass ich aufgesprungen bin, zu Zehner wer's macht. Ans Fenster grad spring ich so schnell wie ein Flash, die Leder aufgerissen, aufgeschmissen die Sasch. Der Mond auf der Brust vom neigefallenen Schnee macht helling wie Mittag, über alles so schön. Immer Auerblick kommt, jetzt und rund wie ein Kasch, Fuhrmann im Schlitter und ach, kleiner Hasch. Männli im Pelze, so freundlich und frei, hab's gerade weg gewiss, es muss der Belsnickel sei. Wie Adler so schnell sind die Haschlin zusammen und pfeift und ruft und nennt sie mit Namen. Jetzt Dasher, jetzt Dancer, jetzt Prancer, jetzt Vixen und Comet und Cupid und Dunder und Blitzen. An der Porch ist nuff die Mauern gefallen. Jetzt springe weg, springe weg, springe weg alle. Wie Laub von der Windsturm, der Wilsch das mir zählt, wann etwas im Weg ist und himmelwärts geht. Zum Hausgiebel nuff sind die Haschlin wie geflohen, mit Schlittli voll Sach und der Nick mit gezogen. Immer Auerblick herrscht auf dem Dach oben drüber, ein Geschär und Gedanz wie mit hellsen Glowe. Mein Kopf zieh ich nahe, gucke mich im Haus und im Schanne steh, do kommt er verhaftig schon raus, mit Pelzer verwickelt vom Kopf bis zum Fuß und alles verschnuddelt mit Esche und Ruß. Auf'm Buckel ein Bundel voll allerhand Gespiel, es hat geguckt wie im Grämer, sei Gram ordentlich viel, sei Maul wie ein Kasch und sei Dimpel die Lache, sei Auer die Blinzle und wie Rose sei Backe. Ganz rund war sei Meili und rot wie der Glee, und Schnurrbärtli weiß wie Wohl oder Schnee. Ein stumpiges Pfeifli fest zwischen die Zäh, und der Schmog steigt im Ringlin so schä in die Hä. Sei gesichtlich so breit und sei beichlich so a bissel, immer im Lacher hat geschüttelt wie Celli in der Schüssel. So dick und so rund war des lustige Elfche, muss lachen grad ras und kann's gar nicht helfen. Sei Käppli war eifrig und schwätzig mit Nicke, sei Auer gar freundlich mit Blinzle und Blicke. Die Strimp hat gefüllt und mit freilicher Braus, da springt er inständig, dem Schanner steht hinaus. Er springt auf sei Schlitter, zu sei vorgebten Piffel, dann fliege er fatt, wie dünn von der Distel. Doch Epper ganz fad war, sei Gruß hat er gemacht. Ein herrlicher Grischtdaag und zu aller gut Nacht. Da bist. Die Nacht vor Grischtdaag. It was the night before Christmas in Pennsylvania Dutch. If you understood that, awesome. Awesome. If you didn't, that's okay too. Take one of those virtual Pennsylvania Dutch classes that you too can figure out what the heck I was saying. But if you know the story in English, well, then you already know it. But I thought you would enjoy that and hear a little bit of real Pennsylvania Dutch thrown at you, getting you in that Christmas spirit. What else we got going on here? Oh, our good friend Dolly Moore is joining us and says, beautiful Doug, thanks so much for reading. Herrlicher Grischtdaag to all. I agree, Dolly. Dolly, I'll probably see you on Christmas Eve at church. Look out. Well, I have one more song, dear friends, to share with you, and it is none other than our good friends, the Gustavsons. I get so many wonderful comments when I share their music with you. And I know why. Because they're freaking good. That's why. They're not freaking good, Doug. They're freaking great. I love these guys. And I put out the message to our good friend Brigitte, who I know is watching. And I said, hey, I don't like to, I said, can I ask a favor? I said, I love everything you guys do. Would you be willing to put together a Christmas song for our Christmas show? And I know that's asking a lot. They got a lot of moving parts to that family. Look at them all. And then to sit down and record a song and get everybody together and learn it and play it. So I know it was a big ask. And I told her, I said, look, if it's too much because the holiday season's so busy and all that, I said, that's okay. But if you can make it work, I would love it. And I know the audience would too. Well, son of a gun, didn't she come through this week? It was this week or last week. She sent me a link and she said, here you go, Doug, enjoy and please share. So, dear friends, guess what I have for all of you? I have another wonderful song by the Gustavsons. And tonight they are singing and performing the beautiful song Silent Night, but they are singing it and performing it in Pennsylvania Dutch. So please give me a second to change things up here because I need to switch tabs. Share screen. Here we go. And now I'm going to make this full screen. And I'm going to pull myself out of it. Whoa, time out. I don't want to ruin this. Hold on. Well, I'll rewind. I want to pull myself out so you get the whole show.
himmlische Engel, sie fliehen umher. Schon wieder Blume, sie über ihm her. Christus Jesus ist du. Christus Jesus ist du.
Well, can you get any better than that? I don't think so. I truly don't. You make out a call and say, hey, would somebody please send me a song? Yeah, we're going to do it with a full harp and an upright bass and a guitar and lovely kids singing as well. I'll tell you what, Brigitte and the whole Gustavson family, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for providing and sharing your gift once again with all of us. My gosh, how wonderful. And anytime you guys want to keep sending songs, listen, I'm never going to say no. And I look to the day when I can sit down and play with you guys. Oh my God, that would be, oh, I can't wait. Someday. I just don't know when, but we'll make it happen at some point. There's a lot of people that threw comments out here I want to throw in real quick into the stream. Zimdog says, hey, I love that I knew the words in English and I could pick out a few of the Pennsylvania Dutch words. The only time I heard that much Dutch was when my father and his family didn't want us kids to understand. That's the story, sadly, for a lot of people, Zimdog, especially of a certain generation. But how wonderful is it that you were able to pick out a word here and there? And this is what I'm telling you, people, everybody out there, that you don't have to be fluent. You know, being fluent in a language is hard work, and it takes time and the opportunities to become fluent. It's not like you just sit down and play a video game and all of a sudden you wake up being able to speak fluent anything. I wish it was that simple, but it's not. It takes time. But think about how powerful it is that, like in Zimdog's instance there, he heard a couple words here and there and he knew them. That is huge. Don't downplay that. Never, anybody. You're hearing people speak Pennsylvania Dutch, and maybe you only know a word here or a word there. That's more than a lot of other people know. And be proud of that. And then, work up the courage to learn some more and practice some more. Thank you for sharing that story. It always reminds us, and it's good to remind us that it's not about being perfect in a language. Nobody's perfect. My Pennsylvania Dutch isn't perfect. No way. My grandparents' Pennsylvania Dutch wasn't perfect, and they spoke a lot more Dutch than I do. You don't ever try for that. I mean, I'm not saying don't try to be perfect, but don't let that hinder you from learning more and trying to improve. Carol says, this is a really long one, but it's part of it. This is a funny story. She goes, the first year I played for the Sanger Corps, the Belsnickel, our good friend Keith Brinsenhoff, was our December guest. He came in with switch in hand and came around each choir member and asked them something in the dialect, and they had to respond. Being not fluent in the dialect, I sat there and prayed that I would understand what he would say to me. I was basically the last one. He walked over to the piano, whacked his switch on the top, and then basically asked me if I was a good girl this year. I guess the rest of the story was she understood it, thank God, and was able to answer him. Belsnickel, I'll tell you, you never know. You never know when he's going to pop up and give you a good whack. Hey, oh my gosh, I got to give this shout out. I got to fix my hood a little bit there. My brother's joining the stream tonight. He usually isn't able to do it. Love you, Doug. Hey, love you too. There you go. Brotherly love right there on the live stream. Thanks for joining us, Steve. I hope your lovely wife is joining us as well, watching there from your couch maybe or something. What do we got here? Oh, people are sending comments like crazy. Brigitte, who just shared all that music with us, says Hallige Grischtdaag, everyone. Hallige Grischtdaag to you as well. Dolly Moyer says, another lovely performance from Brigitte's family. My holiday 2022 is complete. Holy cow. Isn't that great? See the power that we bring through music. It's so wonderful. Thank you again, Brigitte, and all the Gustavsons. Real quick, we're getting here to the end of the show. Let me remind everybody, check out if you want to get some. I don't know if it's too late to order for Christmas. It might be, but you could say, oh, the Belsnickel was running late this year and give it to him after Christmas. But check out Rachel and my website, Zazzle.com. I'll show you the link real quick. Zazzle.com/PA Dutch stuff, where you can get on that website and check out and buy your own Pennsylvania Dutch theme merch. Just here are a couple of of the newer things. I shared with the Belsnickel shirt is there on there now and again. You don't have to get a shirt. They have other things too that you can get that image put on. My favorite one right now is the old school Pennsylvania license plate that you can say that has Du Hush and Freund in Pennsylvania. You have a friend in Pennsylvania, PD 1683, because that's the year the first ship came over. And one that I don't know if it's uploaded yet, because Rachel just finished this one today. In fact, we were emailing about it right before I went live, but I threw the image up there. It might not be on the website right now, but it will be in the near future. If you can't read it, you can read it when you on the website. It says, keeping it PA Dutch since 1683, because we have. And we're proud to keep producing these things and getting this stuff out there for you to purchase. We're not in it for the money. We're in it to give you stuff that can show off your Pennsylvania Dutch heritage and pride. And there's lots of stuff on there. Check it out. And we're going to keep bringing you new images as time goes along. Flash that website address again. There you go, Zimdog. Check it out. Zazzle.com/PA Dutch stuff. Alvin says, you bring back so many memories, and I thank you so much. All right, you're going to get me choked up, Alvin. I'm glad that this crazy stuff that I'm doing here once a month can do that for you. I hope it does it for other people too. I don't know if there's a more powerful magic, I'm going to call it that, for somebody to say something or sing something or make something or cook something that transports you back to your grandmother's kitchen, you're sitting around the Christmas tree with your family when you were a kid. How powerful is that we're able to do these things? And I count my blessings that I'm able to do what I'm doing with all of you every month. And I thank all of you for joining us every month and allowing me to share all of this stuff with you. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it as long as we can. So, keep tuning in, and we'll try and keep spreading these great memories and get this Pennsylvania Dutch magic flowing. If you like what we're doing here, and you don't have to, I always feel kind of bad about doing this, but I got to do it. If you like what we're doing here on the show and on the channel and on my social media feeds, and you would like to financially support me in my endeavors, you can buy me a coffee. Just visit the website, buymeacoffee.com/Doug Mainford. Coffee costs $5. You buy me one coffee, you can buy me 50 coffees, your choice. All of the money raised goes to the upkeep of the channel. In fact, remember last month, we were having camera issues. Well, those got solved. Thank God. And also through the generous donations of some people out there that have bought me coffees over the last couple months. I've been also able to upgrade my microphone. We got a brand new microphone coming at you. Hopefully it sounds nice and crystal clear. Get some new strings for my ukulele. So next month I have that's what the money's spent on. It's not spent on anything other than things that benefit you guys and the products that I'm able to put back out for you guys. Grognak says, I love that name. I'm always surprised how much Pennsylvania Dutch I can understand. Understanding more every day. Grüße aus Michigan. I'm glad that you're saying that. I'm glad that you're understanding more every day. Our good friend Joyce Hassler. Joyce, now wait a minute. Isn't today your birthday? I think today's your birthday. Or it just happened. Well, Halliche Geburtstag. Happy birthday to you, Joyce. How old are you today? Am I allowed to say that? I don't know. 80 something. You don't have to say it, Joyce. But Joyce, thanks for joining us. Wieder gut gedu. She says, good job once again. Danke vielmals. Thanks so much. Thanks, Joyce. I appreciate you joining the stream. And happy birthday to you, my dear friend. Happy birthday. I'm going to send you out with two quick Pennsylvania Dutch phrases. One, you've probably heard me say it 25 times tonight, but I'm going to teach so you can see it. The way to say Merry Christmas in Pennsylvania Dutch is Halliche Grischtdaag. That's one way. You heard Terry say it. Now, Terry's from not Berks County. He's from a different region of Pennsylvania. He says Frohe Grischtdaag, and that's okay. Frohe Grischtdaag, Halliche Grischtdaag, both are ways of saying Merry or Happy Christmas. And since I won't see all of you between now and the new year, I want to also wish you a very happy new year. And in Pennsylvania Dutch, we say Halliches Najaar. Halliches Najaar. Happy New Year. So Halliche Grischtdaag, Merry Christmas, and Halliche Najaar. Mark your calendars, dear friends. We'll be back with you 1 month from today almost. January 18th is our next PA Dutch Live, and I will be bringing on as a special guest for January Robert Schreiber. And boy, is it going to be an interesting topic. And it's a topic that a lot of Pennsylvania Dutch people have no idea about. And I'm going to be perfectly with you honest. I don't know a lot about it either. So I'm going to be learning right alongside of you guys. Robert is very active with a group known as the Orglaube. And I don't even know how to explain it. It is, I think it's safe to say it's a religion. I don't want to ruin the surprise, but he's going to be on because their group does a lot of things in the Pennsylvania Dutch language. And he's going to be on to explain what they do, what they believe, how it works, and why Pennsylvania Dutch. What's the connection there? It's going to be a really interesting conversation next month. So mark your calendars, January 18th. 2023, holy cow, that new year right around the corner, and we will be there. I'll be with you guys here on the stream. Till then, dear friends, of course, check out what we're doing on PA Dutch 101 on Facebook. Keep following the YouTube channel. I got tons of stuff loaded, and we'll be uploading more things throughout the holiday season. Check out some of those things that I showed and talked about at the beginning of the show, like the Pennsylvania Dutch Christmas celebrations that are going on throughout. But I do want to wish all of you a very blessed, safe, and joyous holiday season, no matter what it is you celebrate. For me, it's Grischtdaag, it's Christmas. And for those of you also that are out there celebrating Christmas, Heilige Grischtdaag. For those of you that don't celebrate Christmas, blessings to you and your families. And between now and we see each other again, may your pots be filled with pork and sauerkraut on New Year's Day. May you have blessings and good health in the new year. Ein herrliches und gesegnetes Neujahr wünsche ich euch. A very blessed and happy new year. I wish all of you. And until I see you all again next month, dear friends, stay healthy, stay safe. Hopefully the Belsnickel brings you something nice. And he doesn't whap you up the backside unless you deserved it. If you deserved it, then so be it. But until next month, dear friends, take care. Heilige Grischtdaag, heiliges Neujahr, und mach's gut. Mach's gut zu dir, mach's gut zu dir, mach's gut zu dir for now. Unsere Zeit ist all und so es ist, mach's gut for now. Hoff wieder mit dir zu sein, hoff du bringst zurück ein Freund. Mach's gut zu dir, mach's gut zu dir, mach's gut zu dir for now. Unsere Zeit ist all und so es ist, mach's gut for now. Hoff wieder mit dir zu sein, hoff du bringst zurück ein Freund. Und so mach's gut, lieber Freund, mach's gut.